In international news, a new UN report has found that over 65 million people were displaced during 2015, far more than the entire population of South Africa. The Global Trends report by the UN High Commissioner for Refugees notes an average of 24 people were forced to flee every 60 seconds in 2015. This is 4 times more than a decade earlier, as wars, persecution and other factors drove them from their homes. The report also found that measured against the world's population of 7.4 billion people, 1 in every 113 people globally is either an asylum seeker, internally displaced, or a refugee, bringing a level of risk the UN believes is unprecedented.
Thousands upon thousands fleeing across the Mediterranean have brought the world's refugee crisis into sharp relief, often fleeing conflicts, economic deprivation, or persecution in their own countries.
Unfortunately, the number in the last year has gone up by 10%. We're now at 65 million people. 2/3 are internally displaced people, the most difficult to reach. 1/3 are refugees. 90% are in middle-income countries or in poor countries. 50% of the refugees are children. So each one of these is a very worrying piece of information that we need to address.
Developing regions host 86% of the world's refugees under UNHCR mandate, with Turkey, Pakistan and Lebanon with the largest populations. Over 12 million were newly displaced in 2015 due to conflicts or persecution. UNHCR estimates at least 10 million people as stateless by the end of 2015, while children below 18 constitute about half of last year's refugee population.
The UN Refugee Agency today reports that wars and persecution have driven more people from their homes than at any time since the aftermath of World War II. A study found that a total of 65.3 million people were displaced at the end of 2015, compared to 59.5 million 12 months earlier. The total is greater than the population of the United Kingdom, or to put it another way, 1 out of every 113 persons on Earth is displaced. In a message marking the day, the Secretary General said that with anti-refugee rhetoric so loud, it is sometimes difficult to hear the voices of welcome. But they do exist, he continued.
Warning also against the loud anti-refugee rhetoric that is fueling xenophobia around the world. And as the cries for shared responsibility grow louder, the United Nations will host a high-level plenary ahead of the opening of the 71st session of the UN General Assembly on September 19th, where it hopes member states will agree to a new global compact that will commit all countries to take on their fair share in addressing the large movements of refugees and migrants around the world, especially in the growing absence of long-lasting political solutions that often drive people from their homes in the first place. Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.